You have to believe the positive.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like when I watch the Cowboys game. Sometimes when I watch the Cowboys game, I'll be at church, and if they won, I go and watch it. But if they lost, I don't watch it. But if they win, I go and watch it.
Yeah.
And when I watch the game, when I sit there and watch the game, even if the Cowboys throw an interception, even if they fumble, even if they miss an assignment on defense and the other team scored a 99-yard touchdown, it don't bother me.
Yeah.
Why? Because I know in the end, I'm going to win. And that's the reason why we got to do as Christians. We got to know in the end, we're going to win. We have to believe the positive no matter what. In the end, we're going to win. Yes, we're going to have struggles. Yes, we're going to have valleys. Yes, we're going to have crises. We're going to have bad situations. But in the end, you're going to win. Amen?
That's it. That's it.
You're a victor. Amen. Believe that you're victorious. Amen?
Yes, sir.
Amen. Come on.
Amen.
Believe the positive. Said B is believe the positive, but the positive. L is look for purpose. Look for purpose. 1 Peter 5 and 10, it tells us after we have suffered a while, God will establish us. He will strengthen us and He will settle us.
Yeah.
After we have gone through a while, after we have faced the blues for a minute, after we have gone through crisis and bad situations, He will establish us. He will strengthen us. He will settle us. We have to look for purpose. I believe that once you know your purpose, no matter what you're going through, it won't even bother you, won't phase you anymore. Once you know your purpose, little things or minor things won't even phase you anymore. It won't even bother you anymore. Y'all trying to believe that? I'm not saying got a purpose. That's why our blues is taking over our amens right now. You have to look for purpose. Look for a purpose. Why are you living? Why are you here? Why am I going through this? Why am I, every time I get a job, why am I going through this? What do I need to learn from this? What do I need to take from this? What can I grow from this? How can I grow from this? We have to look for purpose in our lives. Ask God for a purpose in your life. God, what do you want me to do? What do you need from me? Why am I going through this? I must be a preacher, huh? I must be a preacher. You must finna call me into the ministry or something. You have to look for a purpose. When you're going through the blues, you have to look for purpose. That's how the sermon is how to beat the blues. And one of the ways to beat the blues is you look for a purpose. Amen?
That's right.
Amen. Believe the positive and you look for a purpose, and you also use the promises of God.
Use the promise.
Use the promises of God to your advantage.
Amen.
Use the promises of God. We know man will let you down.
Come on.
Man will lie to you. We already know that. That's the blues. That's what the blues is. Man will lie to you. He said he will do it for you and he won't. He said he coming and he won't show. We know that. But God will, every time God says something, you can what? Count on it. Just because God said it, just because God said it, that's enough for me. That settles it. You have to use the promises of God. Amen. Romans 15 and 4 teaches us that the patience and comfort of scriptures is our hope. It's our hope. It's our hope. When God says something, you can believe it. When God says something, you can count on it. You ain't got to worry about it. You ain't got to think twice about it. Just because God said it, that should be enough for you. Amen. So once you go into your blues, going through all the troubles you're going through, no one say, well, God said, well, He'll never leave me or forsake me. That's His promises. He'll never leave me nor forsake me. That's His promises. When I'm going through something, He said, Lord, I'll be with you always, even. Believe the promises. Amen. Believe the promises. Use the promises. Believe the promises. Use them to your advantage. That's what you have to your advantage. When devil said you can't make it, you use the promises of God. Said, well, God never let me down before. And since He did, and since He said I can do it, I'm going to do it. Since He said I'm going to go through it, I'm going to go through it. Since He said I'm going to be a champion, not a failure, I'm going to go through it. Since He said I'm going to be a lender, not a borrower, I'm going to believe that. Amen?
Amen. Good.
Use the promises of God. How many want to beat the blues tonight?
Man.
How many of y'all want to beat the blues? I know some of y'all going through some blues right now. Use the promises of God.
Yes, sir.
Use the promises of God to your advantage.
Amen. It's good.
I was reading the Webster's dictionary, and it says, it's black folks music, and I'm just reading this, studying up what I'm going to go over. And it says black folks music and all that stuff, but deep down at the bottom it says The blues are always played in a minor note.
And a minor note.
Y'all missed it. A minor note. So meaning is tell you, say, your blues that you facing are all minor.
That's true.
It's played in a minor key just to let me know, say, okay, the blues that I'm facing is all minor.
Yeah, yeah.
We have the major on our side, and we believe in the minor. We believe in what Satan says, the minor. We believe in what man says, the minor. Instead of using what major says, using the promises of God, we forget the major and we use the minor.
All right.
We forget the major and we believe the minor.
Yeah. Go ahead on.
The minor. Blues is minor. It's a minor thing in your life. So don't worry about it.
Amen.
Use the promises of God. It says encourage other people. Encourage other people. And you're like, man, I got the blues. Why would I want to carry somebody else? Encourage other people. 2 Corinthians 1:4 it says, it helps us. It says we must help one another whenever we are in trouble. Now, it don't specific says a trouble. It just said help when we are in trouble. Encourage one another when they're in trouble. No matter if they finna go to jail, no matter if they're a fornicator, no matter if they're committing adultery, no matter if they're a rapist, it says help. Amen. It says encourage one another. No matter what the situation is, it says encourage one another. In the Greek, it says help through any trouble. And that should specify everything, right? Any trouble. No matter whatever you're going through, you should help one another. And the best way, here's a secret for you. The best way to get out of your blues and to beat your blues is to help somebody else.
Man.
The best way to beat your blues is to talk and encourage somebody else when you're going through. Because when you encourage them, you're going to build yourself up. If anybody ever encouraged somebody while you was down, you know what I'm talking about. If you encourage somebody while you down, while you going through, and say, man, you're going to make it. You preaching to them, but you're also preaching to yourself. Amen. You talking to them, but you're also helping yourself in the same thing. So when you encourage somebody else, when you facing your blues, they say, okay, you know what? You gonna make it, man. You gonna make it. God got your back. Believe the promises of God. God never let you down before. All you said that, you said it encouraging yourself. You said it saying the same thing you said to them is coming back to you. Amen. Encourage other people. When you're going through your blues, don't keep it to yourself. Encourage somebody else. Amen. When you see a young sister head is down, go and lift it up. Tell her it's gonna be all right. Tell her she's beautiful. Tell her she's okay. Tell her God got her back. When you see a brother going down, he can't take no more. He can't take out there getting turned down from job to job. Tell him it's gonna be okay. God got your back. God is gonna work with you. Amen.
Amen.
Encourage other people. Believe the positive. Look for purpose. Use the promises of God and encourage other people.
Amen.
That's how you beat the blues. But we got one more thing. And the essence says sing God's praises.
Sing God's praises.
Amen. That's one of my favorite ones. Sing God's praises. To beat the blues, you must sing God's praises. Sing forth the honor of his name. Make his praise glorious. Sing God's praises. My question to you, what songs are you singing?
All right.
Are you singing the blues or are you singing God's praises? I'm telling you, there ain't nothing more discouraging when you're going through something. Going through something that you can't take. And you listen to the blues. That ain't nothing more discouraging. Man.
You right about it.
I had a first love. Who had a first love?
Oh,
I had a first love that, I loved it with all my heart. I love it, ain't gonna lie. And I was already had the blues. I was already hurt. But when the song came on that was talking about the blues, losing your loved one, now I found myself crying. I was just hurt at first. Now I'm crying. The blues. What songs are we singing? God, we going through the blues and we get in the car and listen about the blues. That ain't gonna make it no better. We going through the blues and listen to whatever. That ain't gonna make it no better. We go in the car and listen to Love Knock You Down instead of listening to This Love Lifted Me. We listen to Love Knock You Down. Bust out crying. Exactly. There's nothing more discouraging for going through the blues than listening to the blues. And instead of listening to Love Lifted Me, we listen to Love 90 Days. And wonder why your heart is still hurting. Wonder why you crying now.
All right, tell it.
Y'all know y'all been, I'm talking about, I wasn't even crying at first. I wasn't crying at all. I was like, man, God. When the song came on, now I'm just crying. I'm like, what am I crying for? Because the song is the blues. It ain't gonna make you better. It ain't gonna make you better at all. The blues gonna make you seem blue. It's gonna make your day all blue in the face. You're gonna look all blue in the face singing the blues. But you gotta sing God's praises.
Man,
You gotta sing God's praises. We don't believe me. Let's go to Paul and Silas. Now that should have been a blue situation to me. Y'all know what Paul and Silas? They was in jail, put in jail for talking about God, preaching about this that they put in jail. Pictured in bondage, chains from the head, from the hands to the feet. They was in bondage.
Bondage.
Now it seemed like they should have been like, what's that song? They got me. I'm locked up. They should have been singing that to me. Some blues, amen. If they were singing that, they still would have been locked up. If they were singing that, they still would have been in chains. It would have went nowhere. No angel would have came from nowhere because they were still singing the blues. But instead, they sung God's praises. And when you sing the praises of God, chains begin to break. When you sing the praises of God, loosen. Yeah. When you sing the praises of God, things seem to go your way a little more better. When you sing the praises of God, your friend turns upside down. When you sing the praises of God, chains begin to break. Doors begin to open. Jesus begin to work. You have to sing God's praises. Amen?
Amen.
I want to keep the blues. And singing blues ain't going to help me. Singing the blues won't help me at all. But I must sing what God says. Amen? I must give God the praise in everything I do. Amen? No matter what I'm going through. I must give God the praise. I must make His praise glorious. If I'm facing the blues, I must give God the praise. In the beginning of this text, in Numbers 42, it says, as the deer pants for the water,